Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you are. The beginning in 1 minute. Daniel, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Daniel, if you can hear me, we're in the
Hello,
building.
can you hear me? Hello, hello.
I can see I've shared your screen, but I can't hear you.
Hello, can
Is
you hear you?
anybody hearing Daniel?
Yeah, we. Hello, I can hear you.
Yeah, Danny, I
Yes,
can hear you.
Daniel is okay. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, welcome, Daniel. So, first of all, thank you
Okay.
everybody for attending this webinar. This is a Cloud for Sky community.
Come in.
And while we start, I want you to introduce yourself at the chat and tell us where you're coming from and is it raining or is it sunny from where you are. Then let me do a brief introduction. So Cloud for Sky is a community of online community of cloud enthusiasts dedicated to actively learning and sharing knowledge. So this is a space where we can connect and collaborate effectively. So today's speaker will be Daniel Clement from Ghana. He's a cloud engineer. He works at Secure Intelligent Limited. And fun fact about Ghana, I think he'll correct me if I'm wrong. Um Ghana's the best jollof rice. Is that true, Clement? I don't know. The word Ghana comes from the word means warrior king in the language Mande. And if you guys remember that meme from a few years back where people are dancing with the coffins, it originates from Ghana. So these are very fun facts about Ghana. So I think you can see where Daniel comes from. So welcome Daniel to the webinar and share with us. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. Rightly said by our presenter. Sorry, I don't remember your name. Sorry. So I'm Clement Daniel, and I'm a cloud engineer, and I'm here to take you through challenge 12. We talked about AI and machine learning, integrating AI and machine learning, in helping us in our daily lives. Yeah. So let me share my face. Okay. I hope I'm visible enough because I have low light here. I hope I'm visible enough. Or
Yeah, you can go right ahead.
I'm coming. Just give me 1 minute. I'm always in full. Okay. So I guess I would like to share the challenge 12 first and talk about it before probably we'll zoom into our demonstration for today. Thank you very much. Okay, let me share my screen. Yeah. I hope my screen is visible. Okay, sure. So challenge 12, we are using serverless. We are building a solution that looks at serverless phase analysis, and with the help of AWS services, which are some of them are serverless and some of them are machine learning services to help build our solution. So I'll just run us through the project and whatever is we need to know about it. So for this project, we'll explore both serverless and machine learning service. A serverless service does not eliminate the need of servers, which people don't know. They think probably since the name serverless means there's no server running in the background. But more or less, what AWS does is that it manages your server or the underlying infrastructure for you. So you wouldn't have to do the heavy lifting and all that. You just have to write your code and voila, you are there. So AWS manage the service so you can focus on the development, while artificial intelligence has many components that we can use to depend on these needs. We will use this image recognition feature of Amazon Recognito or recognition. After you finish the project, we'll try and integrate it to an online platform that will analyze the upload image to determine whether it is the person or not. So one of the two objectives we are looking at for is to create an S3 bucket with event notification to trigger the Lambda function, and also use Amazon recognition to detect face in the uploaded images. Okay, and the last one is to um, if the image contains a face, populate the DynamoDB and trigger Amazon SNS to send email notification. So obviously, would we need to have a repo and also an AWS account. I think from the previous webinars, we all know how to create our repos and also set up our AWS account. So that is good. So the services that we're going to use is the S3 bucket, the Lambda function or Lambda, Amazon recognition, DynamoDB, and SNS. Okay. So what are the steps of taking up this challenge? So we are creating S3 buckets using, obviously we are using the console for everything today, but I'll show you a bit of both CloudFormation and also Terraform script to have a feel of if we were to be using an ICA, would know what to do. So creating a console, but best practices or best approach is the ICA, and we are writing Lambda code in any language that you want. So I'm writing the code in Python, which I'm conversant with. And the Python for this project to pick up the image from the bucket. Using Lambda, if possible, send a trigger image event to the Amazon recognition to detect face in the uploaded images from the bucket. So once we upload an image to the bucket, a Lambda function will be triggered as from the diagram. A Lambda function will be triggered, okay? And this Lambda function does what? Will send that image to Amazon recognition to detect whether it's a face or not. If it's a face, then our DynamoDB will be populated, and also a notification, most appropriately through email, will be sent to our user for them to be aware that there's a face image in our environment. And lastly, if the image contains a face, which I've said earlier, populate the DynamoDB and trigger Amazon SNS to send email notification. Yes. So all this can be done using a free tier account, and you'll be good to go. So let's dive right into our demo for today. Thank you. Okay. So we have to create our S3 bucket in order to upload our images to. So would either search for S3 on our search bar, or if you have S3 already, just click on it and we just open it. It will be open for you. And I also want you to also use the opportunity to thank the team for using the account, the community account. I had a problem with my account, so they helped me out with the community account. So you just go to create your bucket. I would like to name our bucket simple with simple and unique. So let's say cloud first. Okay, let's do cloud sky. Let's do cloud sky S3. Okay, we'll leave everything as default. Okay, we'll block public access. We'll not enable versioning, which would help us maintain our bucket if it's been deleted. We'll still keep it for Amazon to do the encryption for us, and we'll just create our bucket. So our bucket has been created. Nice. So what we'll do right now after creating our bucket is to do what? So either we upload an image to the bucket, okay, or after getting the lambda, after writing our lambda script, which is already written, would after doing the triggering, we'll do what? Would upload the images. Okay. But the images that I have are so many. So I want us to upload it first so that probably we'll just include one images to test our environment. So let's go into the bucket and let's upload some folders which contains our most appropriately data sets. Okay. Yeah, okay. There are lots, so probably when it's going, we'll be doing something else. Okay, so while our bucket is creating, we would have to go to our lambda function and make sure that we have our code that would help pick the bucket that will help pick the items will help pick the item from the bucket and push it to the Amazon recognition to do what, to get our image or to recognize our image or do analysis on our image. Before we do that, we'll still have to wait for the bucket to create in order to get the bucket information to go ahead with whatever we are doing. So while we wait for the bucket, let's go through the code so that when we get to the lambda, we wouldn't have to go over it again. Okay, yep. Okay, so this is the length of the code. So what this code is seeks to do is to do what? We are importing the the library which is Boto3, which is Python, and the also which is Boto3, sorry, and also Jensen to our environment. And we are also calling the client, which is the S3, which is the recognition, which is the DynamoDB and the SNS into recognition of our lambda. So our lambda will recognize this information, these services that we want to interact with. Okay, so for the helper function, this is just to indicate what should I say, in a sense of what attribute that will be identified by the lambda function in order to do what, to trigger or to take action concerning any item being placed in the what, in the bucket. So we are using, most appropriately, we are using index. You get it? We are using index to tell the lambda that whatever you see anything put in the index bucket, you get it, you have to trigger and also do what, um give analysis and give us feedback. So you're detecting the phase, and after detecting the phase, may also do what, in the DynamoDB, we also do what, we're also getting, after detecting the phase in the DynamoDB, we also, the analysis of the recognition should do what, should give us the full name or probably the name of the image, of the human face image being seen. So when we go to our main handler, we we are also declaring the variable which is our bucket name, which I have to change here, S3. Yep. So we are declaring a variable to our bucket name, Cloud Sky S3. Okay. And we are also doing what, in our definition, we are also trying to do what, to get the image from S3, assuming key is retrievable from record. So if key is not retrievable from record, which is this line of code, you get it, we have accept key error would take handle of this situation for us to not get problems with our code. So this line of code is also telling us that we are sending the image to recognition to detect the face. So in the byte and also in the image, whether JPEG or PNG or whatever formats of image you want to detect will detect. So if face are detected, populate DynamoDB and trigger SNS. So if you get it, response face details, okay, we'll do what? We'll have to get we'll populate the DynamoDB, which DB have to change the name here, the DynamoDB, and would put that image into the image will populate into the DynamoDB. Sure. So for the SNS2, when this happens, automatically the DynamoDB, after the DynamoDB have been populated with our information, automatically we have to get a publish email with maybe any description to what the user did, maybe human face detection or human presence in our environment. So whenever this information is being loaded, a human face is being detected from the DynamoDB, this line of code would also inform SNS that, hey, there's human face detected. Then whatever you describe in your SNS topic would be sent out to maybe users that, okay, we have human face detected, or human face detection, or human presence within our environment. So that is what this line of code seeks to do. So I explained earlier, this handles the error that if we are not getting image using the event, okay, we are not able to get image using using the record, then this line of code should handle that error for us to get for us to what operate smoothly. So in addition, if probably another bucket, or sorry, another item is uploaded to the bucket, maybe somebody by mistakenly or maybe intentionally upload a car image, okay, this is not what we are looking for. So behind the machine learning algorithms and the training and all that which has been done, you get it, we wouldn't be able to do what we wouldn't be able to do what would let that slide, because that is not what we are looking for, and that has not been part of our data, so that wouldn't be possible for us to detect. So when all is said and done, we'll do what? We'll just have a success of our image recorded, which this line of code seeks to do. Okay, let's go and see whether, okay, our bucket is uploaded with our images. Okay, so, oh, I made a mistake. I've uploaded only the index. Sorry, coming. I'm coming. I'll be using only the index, not the whole stuff there. Yes, index. But we'll still have the bucket name, so we can move on to our Lambda. So we can either search for on the search bar, just Lambda. Then you have access to your Lambda. So we have to create a function in order to do all those actions for us. So let's give it a simple name, Cloud Sky hyphen function. Okay. And since we are using Python, our runtime will definitely be Python. Okay. And you can either create a row okay, and let it use that role to perform its function. You get it? Or you can either use the basic permission from AWS to perform your actions. Okay. But for me, I created a rule to take up that to have this connection between the Lambda, the DynamoDB, and also the SNS. And I think I also included CloudWatch to the rule. So I'll be selecting my rule. Okay. And there are so many rules here. I'm looking for phase detect. Okay, so you can either create a rule, or you can either use the create a new rule with basic lambda permissions to create it. So one thing, I'm using the architecture x860 underscore 64 to run my infrastructure, if I could say that. I think we will not have to do anything on the advanced settings. We just have to do what? Create our function. Okay, our function has been created, but we are not done with everything. Sorry. What we have to do right now is to from architecture. Okay, we have our source as our S3, and we have various destinations. You get it? But most appropriately, we want to use our prime destination to be our SNS, so that whatever happens would find the information um, in SNS. You get it? So we're adding our trigger. You just select which trigger you want, which resource you want to trigger from. So most appropriately, I want to use S3, but there are a lot of services you would like to trigger from that are available there. Yes. So I'm using S3. Okay. So automatically I have my bucket name and within this infrastructure. Okay. So for the events type, most appropriately, you have to select all object create events. So it means that you can put, you can post, you can copy, and so on and so forth. So many things to do there. But you can specify whatever you want to do, which works best. So this option would, in our code, you see we indicated that we're going to identify our we want our lambda to identify index in order to anything coming from put in index to do what, to get our results. Okay, so we want to put index here. Sorry, we want to put index here so that we'll get um anything being put in our bucket in the index folder would be populated, and we'll receive whatever we want to see. We can decide to leave the this portion out. I mostly use for if you want to do some put some limitations to which file should we be accessing within the index folder. So if probably I want to get only the images from maybe PNG, I'll just put PNG there, or maybe JPG or whatever format I want to put there. I'll just put it there so that it will be streamlined, and we just add. Okay. So now that we have added our trigger, we'll have to add our destination, where this all this behind the scenes stuff would end, so that for us to get our results. So we want to use a source which is asynchronous invocation, so that even though let's say we've sent the message and the message isn't gone, is not lost. Okay, or the user or the other side have not authenticated the request, who is we will still have to do what, we will still get a message, and the message will do what, still go regardless. It doesn't need any authentication from the other end before it goes, or has to wait for some period. It just goes like that. If it gets to the user, fine. If it doesn't get to the user, that is it. It just like it works in the same way as UDP in terms of networking. So in our condition, we would like to put it on success. So condition whether to send invocation record for event proceeding failures or for successful invocation. So we would like to choose success for our condition. And going to our destination, these are the various destinations that we have. Okay, so we like to choose SNS topic as our destination for our for this use case. Sorry. And once you choose it, okay, we have to create our SNS topic before we get the ARN. So I think let me see. Okay, I have my SNS here. So we just go to the topics. But that is the dashboard of SNS. The topics. If I'm talking so fast, just let me know. Probably I would go a little bit slow. So just go to create topics. Okay, and you have two types of SNS kind of messaging channel you want to choose from, whether first in first out or the standard procedure. So first in first out means whatever information goes in first, that is the information that will what come out first. And we have first in last out too, that's LIFO. So whatever information goes and that goes first will come out, like will come out last, sorry. But I want to use the standard option to do our message delivery. So we'd want to choose just a simple cloud name for our SNS topic. So we'll do it cloud, cloud sky space dick, right? So this is what we're going to use for our SNS. So whatever information comes in, we'll know that okay, it's coming from this part. So the display name, we'll just use face dick. Okay, you can use any name that you want to use. We don't worry ourselves much with the encryption, the access policy, data protection, and the likes. Okay, we'll just create our topic. Okay, voila. We now have our topic. Okay, but we need to do what? We need to link it to a particular channel that will tell us that whenever this information is being triggered, we have to get the name and then display name and whatever it's saying. Just like the normal message you get from maybe your service provider. So you get maybe this is from MTN, so similar to this name. Okay, so maybe Happy Christmas, similar to this name. Okay, then the content of the information. So they probably need your number or your email. So go to the email route to create a subscription. So you have to subscribe to MTN network in order to get MTN's information or whatever information MTN is sending across board. So the same thing, whatever information the Lambda will trigger or will take action on and will be put into the DynamoDB, which means that the first detected would get an information from so we get an information to our SMS that this is what we have gotten. So create subscription. So that is our ARN, and we want to choose our protocols. Okay, so you're choosing an email protocol. So I want somebody to type his or email and our in-call chats. If not, I'll just type my own and would verify it from my side. But if somebody want to type his email, just give him 2 seconds or 3 seconds for the person to do that so that I copy it and put it here.
We have Morris. Um, the first name we can't pronounce. Maybe you can copy paste the email from there.
Maurice, we are waiting for you, or
Yes,
else I'll just
yes.
put my email here.
The email is in the chat. Morris
Oh,
and Collins.
okay. Because I hate Maurice, I will take Colin's email. Maurice, no hard feelings, okay? Where is mine? Okay. So, okay. Okay. So I want Collins to um subscribe to the email so that we'll have a confirmation over here. But while he's doing that, let's go back to our Lambda function and do what? And get our um ARN. Okay. We'll leave the permission as it is. Collins, have you confirmed?
Yep, done.
Okay. So I have to refresh for us to see the confirmation status. Okay, it's confirmed. Thank you very much. Okay. So now we have our trigger and we have our SNS destination. Thank you very much. So we'll go to our code and would have to paste our code into it. I know some people are afraid of code or writing code or whatsoever, but as a cloud engineer or a DevOps engineer or somebody in IT is mostly or is kind of required to have a bit understanding of code and how it works and how things are, so that when you see, even though you can't write, when you see a code somewhere, able to understand it and speak to it. So we'll save it and would like to test first, which would have our required to put our event name to identify it. So cloud sky hyphen event, sorry, event. We'll just leave it default. But some people would also want to do certain changes to this portion. But in our scenario, we would want to put it on a default. We can either straight invoke the Lambda function or save it first. Okay, so we've saved our code. I pray it doesn't give me error though, because you can expect the worst at any point in time. Okay, so there's success in our code, but mind you, it means it's telling our status 200. Okay, there's no error that would, okay, since we've not deployed, we'll not see. Okay, so we've not, what I'm trying to say is that since we've not uploaded any images for the Lambda to pick it, no, we've not deployed the Lambda for any, let me take it out again. We've not deployed the Lambda, okay, before uploading an image. We'll just have this information here. But if we deploy the Lambda and we have already deployed the Lambda and updated our S3 bucket with an image, probably maybe you might get some response concerning maybe errors, maybe passing the errors and just moving on with the code. Just like to deploy it. For me personally, I like to, after doing the deploy, try to test it again and see whether it works though. So let's see. I hope it doesn't fail me. Okay. So you see what we are getting here. you're getting a status code which is 400, error processing image. It means that we've not able to, the code wasn't able to find the information from the record. You get it? So that means that except option that we passed, which is the record key not found, that is what is giving us the error. But we've passed, we've put aside that error and want to go ahead with our code. That is why you are seeing like succeed over there. Other or not would have gotten a failed code from our lambda function. Okay, so with that, we'll go ahead in creating our DynamoDB very fast, and also moving to the machine learning part. Okay, so on your search bar, even though I have DynamoDB here, I just wanted to do a little bit demonstration for people who might be struggling in doing the search. So Dynamo, have DynamoDB. Okay, click connect, and would want to create a table. Yes. So we want to put a table name to cloud sky hyphen db. Yep, db. I want to make our partition key um let's say something simple. Let's say um face. Okay, I want to leave our sort key that way. You get it? Yes. So you want to leave the table settings that way too, and um, go with the default bucket settings, obviously, which is 5 read and 5 write, auto scaling because DynamoDB, so it's serverless. So DynamoDB is part of the serverless services. I want to create a table. Okay, we have our class sky DB going on. Okay, so having done that, we would before that, okay, having done that, let me show you if we are not doing all this on our console. Okay, we can do it using our command line. Sorry, we can use either doing our command line, which is AWS CLI or Terraform or CloudFormation or the likes. So in our CloudFormation, this is just, there's no actual tags to their specific names and all that in this. You get it? So this is how you're gonna do it. Even though this is not appropriate way, you have to get your main, your variables, your output, and your what again? Making sure that you have a simplified and less complex infrastructure provisioning, and the state files and the state vars and all that. So we just have to get our provider, now S3 bucket, a Lambda function. So most appropriately, you would upload a zip file to your Lambda function, or you can include the whole code into your Lambda function. But more or less, it's a bulky code, so you have to put in a zip file and upload it to your upload it to your S3 bucket. So your roles, I'm just walking through this very fast. Your inline policies, okay, which is to get to able to speak to your DynamoDB SNS recognition, S3, and yes, and the likes. Your DynamoDB to your collection ID. What are you collecting? Which is probably your labels and your SNS topics, Lambda event source mapping, which we didn't use. We used I think we didn't use mapping. We used the asynchronous um, aspects. So subscription and your permission. You get it. So this is how you want to do when using Terraform. And for cloud formation to which is AWS proprietary ICA or infrastructure as a service. Sorry, infrastructure as a code. You have to declare the template format version, the buckets, the Lambda function, the bucket events, the DynamoDB tables, and all the resources that you would need, your recognition and its rules, the SNS and its rules, sufficient topics and its rules. You get it? Yes. So our DynamoDB has created. Voila. So let's move to our I think we made a mistake in our Lambda code. No one told me about it. We had to change our DynamoDB's name. Okay, we've not created it by then. Our DynamoDB name and our topic ARN to get that information that we are looking for. Okay, so we'll do it cloud. Okay, no, there's cloud sky. I want to delete something else. Cloud sky. Oh god. Cloud Sky DB. Okay, and for our ARN, which more or less acts in, for me mostly I take it as our endpoint, but it has its own definition too. To do what? To get it from we're getting the most appropriate ARN, which is this. Okay, and we are pasting it in our Lambda code. Wow, this is long. Is that the ARN? I'm expecting it to be something short. Okay. Coming. Let me just verify one or two things. Yes, it is this is what I'm looking for. So you most appropriately want to reference it to the topic. You get it? Yes. So where's our code? I think for exploration, you can either decide to do that way and see what results you will get. There are various ways of doing certain things which I've not tried before. So I'm just going with what I know. That is why I'm doing this. So I like to do what? I would like to save it first and test. Okay. And want to do what? Want to deploy that code. Okay. And do what? And test again. Okay. But Collins, have you subscribed to the email? Collins?
I did subscribe. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you'll be getting something
Okay.
very soon. So the Amazon recognition does what? Help us in how so many functions. I needed that place first. Yes. Helps us to do what? Label detection, image properties, image moderation, face analysis, face comparison, face liveness, celebrity recognition. Sorry, yes, celebrity recognition, and so many things that the recognition does for us. You get it. So, in a simple demo of it, you get it. The reason why we want to go this route is that the of which we'll test and see again if it's gonna work. So the model that I deployed, okay, yesterday for no for a happy reason worked. But this morning coming back to it and deploying it again was a total failure. You get it? And I was kind of disturbed. So what we'll do is that we'll still try again and see whether it's going to succeed or not. That is fine. But Amazon has also gives us a simple face detection and analysis kind of dashboard to just demonstrate certain things to make us a bit happy. So you can use either the image URL or just upload an image. So we want to upload. Okay, but before that, it gives us the result of the person. Face looks like a face, 90%, appears to be a female. The age range, the smile, appears to be happy, wearing glass, and so many information about the picture. Okay, so let's what picture would I even use? I hope I'm not taking a car picture because I have so many. Okay, let me use this one. I hope this will be a person's. Oh, okay. Oh, Bill Gates. Okay. I'm definitely sure you're gonna give us something which is an old person, blah blah blah. And so let me just take in water for some while. Okay. So what are we seeing? Obviously looks like a face, a male, the age range might be lying, might be true. Smiling, appears to be happy. Wearing glass. Are you sure? Okay, he's wearing glass. Wow. Eye are open, mouth is open. Do not have mustache, do not have face beard. Face is yep. And we have the request here, and we have some of the response. Yeah, so face details. So probably you want to use it for further analysis. So let's try one more image before we go to um, training our model again and see what other things will work this time around. I hope this is an image from this car. Okay, so let's see whether it's going to work. There's no results, obviously, because it's not a human being. Sorry, it's not a human face. Let me take this. Okay. I believe this is the CEO of Google or something like that. His name. So he also has his own breakdown of the person's face and all that. Yes. So in order to do what? In order to create to train your model and also have that connection that we are looking for to pick the information from the S3 bucket and do analysis, run analysis, and do the further process, we would go to use custom labels because most appropriately want to use our own custom labels to do whatever we want to do. And we want to have the simple workflow. So create a project, create a data set, label images, train model, evaluate model, and use model. And people might be wondering, are we going to train a model? Most appropriately, let's try. The images are not too many, so I have to copy this. This thing went off. The image. I thought somebody was talking. I had to, I had to copy that. Ah, now it's gone. Let me see why I can get it back. Oh, okay. Oh, let me use my. Okay, we are using our S3 buckets. Yes, but most appropriately. Okay, so we want to create our own project. The reason why I wanted to use that was that it wouldn't require us to go and do add an additional policies to our S3 bucket. You see what I'm talking about? So our projects. if that was too fast. Let's go to create project. Project name. So Cloud Sky. Let's see. Cloud Sky Face ML. Okay. If- Okay. So we are creating our data sets. Okay. And we either use we start from the scratch to do our own to have control of our own training, or use Amazon 80% 20% project approach. So more or less, when you train your model, the data set is split into create the training data set, which is 80%, and the test data set, which is 20% for your project. But when you use this one, you have control over what you want to do. So we can either import images from our bucket, upload images from our computer, copy an existing Amazon recognition custom labels, or import images labeled by ground truth. Wait, SageMaker ground truth. But I want to go to S3 to do our function. Sorry, do our work. So we have to do what? We have to get the S3 URL from our buckets, and we'll paste it in this portion. So let's go to our S3, a quick one. Our time is going. We'll go to our index and we just copy the URI and just have to paste it. Okay. Yes. So this is what I was talking about. So since you're importing it from you are pointing it to a different bucket, you must make sure that you copy this policy most appropriately into the bucket policy of your bucket. So let me start from the ground portion. Okay, let me just select all like that. Okay, copy. Okay, so let's go to our buckets and go to our bucket permission to do what? To make that change or alter that point. You go to our bucket policy and we want to do what? To point, to paste in this policy to do what? To take an effect. So what this policy is trying to do to tell us is that would AWS recognition ACL bucket have access to the bucket? The Amazon recognition will have access to the bucket. To get information from the bucket, to get object from the bucket, to write to the bucket, to put object to the bucket, and have control over the bucket. Wouldn't pay attention to the security, which is giving us a red light there. And we just save. Did I? Okay. Yes. So we just save that portion. Yep. So going back to the recognition, would have to what? Proceed with creating our data set. So custom label is creating your data set. It might take a while to finish. Okay. Don't worry, since the data is not too much, because I trained it on so many data and it was working fine until it didn't work again. So after doing this, you would uh is there a freeze there? Okay, waiting. So we just have to do what? We just have to train. Either you train your data using the popular machine learning what's it called? Platform like it escaped my head right now. Ground truth, or using what's it called? Um, oof, wow, it's what I can remember. Mm, just forgotten. Is it Jupyter Notebook? Yes, Jupyter Notebook, and the likes to do what to train your model. We are using this managed service, which is the Amazon recognition to do the creation. I think it's for my network. Shall we go right now? We have to get the information right now. This will be the last thing. Uh, oof. Ah, let's wait. Hmm. Still not working. Ah, what's the problem? I've been gone by now. Want this to finish. I want us to see how it does the training and see the differentiation of the training. If for anything else before would end the webinar, but we need to get this first to show the label data, the unlabeled data, and the test and train algorithms that took place. I don't know why this is just running slow. Oh, okay. Let me just put it off and just take it off as this page and come back again. So going to our project. Yes, we have a project. Okay. So created, right? So uh, we should have had our, okay, yes, these are our data sets. So we have 27 images. Okay. These images are 27 unlabeled, 27 unlabeled, no error, no labeled information. So these are the, we have cars. Or did I upload only the cars image into this one? Wow. Yeah, okay, there's human face in there. Okay. So you should do the labeling for us. Oh, I have to do this manually. I have to do this labeling manually. Okay, let's add labels. So face. Coming. We'd have to probably that might be. I'm coming. So sent us to train most appropriately. Let me take this off and um sorry. Let's get this right. So cloud, sky. What did I even do it? Let's do it face deck. Okay. S3. So index. Okay, I'm just copying from this place. Oh no, not this. And you have to go inside the bucket first. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, so we didn't check this. Automatically assign image labels. Okay, that was the problem. Okay. So we are creating. So most appropriately one oh okay, I think it's why is it giving a starting labeling again? Hmm. Shouldn't be giving us this. So give it should be labeling for us. Okay, let's go then manual way of labeling things. Um so where are the faces? And most appropriately, it should be giving us, it should be automatically assigning the labels for us, which I've done a couple of times, but right now it's giving me this two problems again. Wow. So let's say add the okay. Um assign okay face, giving it for face, and we're assigning it. Okay, save change. Time is going. Please create fast. I will let you, I just want us to see, yes, the training model. So since we did the manual label 3, we just have to go to the training model and see how it trains it. So search for, wow, now there are two. Okay, let me use the first one. We'll just leave it at default when creating, when training, sorry, and we are training. So you can see the notification up your data set distribution started. So it's now doing the splitting of 80 to 20% of these information. Okay, so it's showing us here training in progress. You get it. And for the data set, when we go to the data set to give us an analysis. Okay, so training and the train 26, okay, and the tested just one. That is poor. I'll just take it like that. So training labeled to probably it just identify one phase in our in our labeled manually labeled phase. So these are some of they're the same thing, and you just tested it on one. So bad. Don't worry, would get past it. Okay, so let's go back to see whether our training is successful or not. Still in progress. It might fail or it might not fail. I'm hoping that it might not fail. And we just since the data is just small and we just do the rest fast. Other than that, would have no other option than to um, hope for the best next time. Sorry, I'm just saying this, but sometimes it's something else. You train the thing, it works, and the other time doesn't work. So let me just refresh again from this and see. Still in progress. Okay. So, but we have our bucket. Okay. We have our lambda function. Okay. Oh, why is the lambda taking too long to open? Okay, let me go to the SNS. You have our SNS. Okay, we have our email here confirmed. We have our what again? DynamoDB. Yes, we created our DynamoDB Lambda function. Why is the Lambda function opening? Okay, let's go to our DynamoDB from here. So it's only when the data is trained and you pass the training, that is when the Lambda code being described here will take an effect so that we to populate our DynamoDB with just one image of which it detected it as it labeled it as face. So in our table, obviously would see nothing. We just have just our just information here. Even though we try to query, there will still be nothing here. So let's do some query. Um, Cloud Sky DB. Okay. So the select star from Sky Cloud Sky DB means you are selecting everything under there in the table. Obviously, we didn't get good response. Yes. Let me see what our data is trained. Failed. Oof, the manifest file contains too many invalid rows. Wow. That is something which, when troubleshoot, would go much into our time. Unless maybe there's another time for me to perform that. And if appropriately for that, I'll have to use the my large data set, which is most accurate than what I just used to demonstrate the recognition. So yes, sorry I'm ending on a bad note. Was not able to achieve the order of the day, but at least we were able to do what know how to go about or how to perform the connection between the S3, the Lambda, the recognition, the DynamoDB, and the SNS to achieve challenge 12. But we had a challenge which is our training. Too bad for us, or too bad for me, most appropriately. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Daniel. I think can we give a round of applause for him for the hard work he's done? Any questions as we finish off the webinar? Any questions for Daniel? No question.
Oh, I
I
want
have a
questions.
question.
I want questions. Or is it the coding portion or the Lambda portion that is confusing, or the whole process? I want to get everything.
Okay, so I think people should connect with you. I shared your LinkedIn. I think I can share again.
Oh,
People
okay.
should connect with you if they have any questions,
Yeah, let me share my.
concerns.
Are
Yeah.
you sharing it for me? Or let me share my thing.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you very much.
It's been a very informative session. We hope to have you again with your other colleagues. I could see your friends from Ghana here. So
Sure.
one day we should connect and maybe we should do a exchange a visit between Kenya and Ghana.
Most appropriately, I want to come to Kenya. Don't worry. I put it on my
Yeah.
LinkedIn on the in-call chat, so you can connect.
Okay. Thank you so much. So I think we are done with the presentation today. It's right on time, 9:30 here in Kenya. So thank you everybody for joining, and we wish you a very nice evening and good. Yeah. Bye. Uh, Daniel,
Oh,
question.
okay. Yeah, I've seen. Could
Yeah.
you can Okay, let me read the first one. Can you have access to the code base either via GitHub? Okay, let me copy your email address right now. because I've not uploaded it to GitHub. So let me just copy your email. And most appropriately, I'm in the group as Elon Musk. So you can just DM and we'll speak about whatever you need. Okay, and Kelvin too, not a question as such, but to tell Daniel that you're ending on the best note. We learn from the bargain and diagnosing errors, most appropriately. Maurice is also saying agony of cloud engineers. Definitely, the bargain is the main challenge. Okay, yeah, sure. The bargain is the greatest challenge. Like you sit on it all night and you wouldn't even get a solution to your problem. Yep. So you can just connect to me on LinkedIn, or most appropriately, I'm in the group as Elon Musk. And you any question, I will gladly answer them for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think we can close from that point and see you next time.